there's a situation going on, and it involves people that I'm really cool with. I might get into it here and there with them, but right now, I want to preface this one by saying that there was a part where I took notice of a debate, which kind of maybe shouldn't have been a debate in the first place, going on the subject matter. But I was taking notice that people had what's called stabbies. You know, they had their stabbies out, and they were poking at each other at points a little more fiercely than one should. And I could see the breakdown. I could see where it started happening. I saw it. It was very easy to see, and I took notice and said that most likely, I could see this part coming out. And I made reference to zodiac signs that, hey, it could have been, going on the way the stabby came out, that this person was either, I concluded, and now look, here's full disclosure, I already knew the sign. Okay? I knew the sign. So yes, I lied, okay? I lied. I said that, I could tell that you must be an Aries, a Scorpio, I think Capricorn, or a pissed off Aquarius. But I knew it was Scorpio. But I didn't want to, because if you tell somebody something, you don't want them to use that against you. And that's not what I wanted to do anyway, because that's not what I really care to do. Not like that. Not for this, because this situation has nothing to necessarily do with me. So I want to sound neutral, and I obviously did not. And then this person, see, you want me to pull it up? So yeah, you want me to read this? Okay, I'll get it. Because I'm not going to be the one headlining this. Let's see. Now, where was it? And this person said that, now if you know who you are, don't call yourself out, please. Not for this. Don't call yourself out. If you do, cool, but that's up to you. They said, on a side note, I'm a Scorpio, but I also think astrology is completely bunk since it shapes the personality of the reader rather than just being right. There is an interesting study somewhere, never could remember the name, that followed an African tribe that named people based on the days of the week and ascribed personality traits to them the same way astrology does, and found the same level of coincidental overlap in the personality as astrology has. Also, people who haven't invested in astrology when lined up and tested by someone who has, the success rate is pathetically small for matching them. On a double side note, many friends of mine are into it, can never seem to guess what I am on the first try. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you this. Sidra's gonna headline this, I think, or we'll go back and forth. But there's a reason why no one can guess on the first try, and there are reasons why astrology once was highly successful, now is not, and it can't be, because, well, I'll let Sidra start talking here.
Okay, so when it comes to astrology determines people's personality traits, how they're going to behave, how they're going to respond to various things, various situations. Behavior and responses predominantly are an emotional thing. How you behave in a situation, how you respond or react, is usually determined by your emotions. So when you're dealing with people who are highly emotional, most of the time you're going to be extraordinarily accurate when you're dealing with, whether it's the Greek zodiac, the Chinese zodiac, the Native American. They're usually going to be dead on. Now, I'm not going to name the name of the individual who made the comment that Sedrik read earlier, because Sedrik doesn't want me to. But going based on what he chose his YouTube handle to be, it seems he approaches things from a very logical and analytical and evidence-based realm, not necessarily emotional from the beginning. So if you're not coming full force with your emotions, it's going to be hard for someone to be able to discern what zodiac sign you are. Now, you get pissed off and you start raging and your human irrationality starts coming into play, then somebody will be able to discern. Sedrik is the same way. He's an Aquarius. And when he's speaking all logically and rationally and stuff, you won't be able to tell that he's Aquarius. But if you're living day to day and watching his behavior and his responses, you're right here. I'm gonna look at you. Then you're able to see it, especially if you're familiar with them. And then someone would have to explain to me, why do people in the same zodiac react the same way? Aquariuses across the board are usually the same, with the changes being depending upon their upbringing and their experiences. But the baseline, that's just the same.
You know what? How about this? Because I try to be an open book. Why don't you, from your perspective, explain? You can use, me and others that you know that are Aquarius. What are the baseline things of an Aquarius?
That's a long list. Aquariuses don't like injustice, so they respond. What's the word I'm looking for?
Vehemently, strongly, passionately, raging.
I guess passionately when they think there is the slightest injustice occurring. Even if there's not. If that's how it seems, or they're going to come full force at it. They're very flirty. They're all very flirty.
We're flirtatious, and we like shiny things,
and they like to argue. No, that's not the wrong word. They like being right, and they will oftentimes make themselves look dumb as hell trying to be right.
Now, let me explain what she means by that. Let me explain. And this happens, and granted, you're going to say this happens with every zodiac sign. Yeah. No, with an Aquarius, it happens way too much. An Aquarius is one that will definitely use everything in their past and what they see around them presently to dictate what they know is going to happen in the future. So when someone does something or says something, it is an automatic trigger for that Aquarius to start yanking out every iota of information that they have regarding those words. And in Aquarius, we, they, them, whatnot will start arguing on behalf of that experience. So it keeps going. And we're like, no, this is what you said. This is what it sounds like. This is what, and this to us, it's rational. It makes sense. And it does. So eventually, we just sound like dumbasses because we go off the rails. However, we don't go so off the rails where we stop listening. That's one advantage that Aquarius have. We still listen. It's not like a baby hollering with the eyes closed and the ears all shut down. No, we are still listening. And then when someone says, hey, it's this I'm talking about, and you're talking about that, then you have to wonder what type of Aquarius you're coming up against. Are you coming against the decent-minded kind? Are you coming against the apathetic one? Or are you going against a complete asshole? And every zodiac sign has those three traits that we learned about. We learned, yes, you've got your decent, your apathetic, and then you're just jerk. You've got that. And for me, I'm honestly within that decent area. Because once it's over, and once I've been shown, look, man, you're wrong, and this is how, and it's like, this is, you're arguing what the hell I'm not even going on about. And it's like, oh, shit, my bad. I'm sorry. And the emotions are running high, and the brain is getting squeezed. So when you go on the emotion and you're trying to jerk an Aquarius out of the emotion back into the let's be rational and logical about this. The Aquarius is going to be rational and logical mostly the whole time, but emotions are the ones that help double down and triple down on the stupid that's going on. That's what emotions basically do. That's what anything is about when it comes to emotions. That's why emotions are never really the best thing to go on. Do you feel this way? Okay, that don't make it right. That's just how you feel. So if I'm arguing with Sidra on something and I get exceedingly pissed off or passionate, I'm like, well, what the fuck? It don't make any sense. This is some stupid shit. Why the fuck are you saying this? And then she's like, look, all I'm trying to say is this and this and this. And then I got to calm down that part of me, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And so it might be a few minutes, a few hours, or the next day that I'm like, I want to apologize for doing this or that. And zodiac signs, that's what they're about. They're about base things, and as I told Sidra, people get pissed with me. That's when I'm really listening. I'm really listening when someone gets pissed with me, because then I get to see who they really are. And when someone is pissed off and they're trying to do the right thing no matter what, I'm like, that's a good person. That's a judgment, and I could be wrong, but I go with it at the moment. Always willing to change. But you want to keep going with the zodiac stuff?
I thought I pretty much covered it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because, he said that his friends can never really get on the first try. And you know what? As she explained, can't, because you're all chill. When everyone's chill and they can just have a conversation, you don't know what they are. You have no idea. But then as she said, when you get to know them, yeah, it comes out. It starts to come out. And seeing the back and forth that I saw both of them come out. Matter of fact, I saw one personal experience with the other, because he came out at me hardcore. And if I were a Scorpio, if I were an Aries, I would have leaped down his fucking throat and done all I could to dissolve any acquaintanceship, because that shit was uncalled for. First thing I thought was that shit was unjust. But yeah, it won't right. It won't right, and it hurt my feelings a lot. It really fucking hurt. And I thought I'd rather shut up and preserve an acquaintanceship than to start talking, because I go for the jugular. That's all I was raised in. That's all I was raised in high school. Just go for the jugular. I mean, don't hold back. Don't show remorse. Go for the jugular and just burn that bridge with gasoline and napalm. That bridge didn't mean shit in the first place, obviously. So it's got to go. So when it comes to zodiac signs, check out something called, what was it called? The primal zodiac. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good too. Zodiac signs ain't all about, when you get deep, no, man. No, don't go deep. Never go deep, because then everything gets muddied, and basically everything is everything. Every sign is every sign. When I first learned zodiac, we're going to end it with this. When we first learned zodiac, we learned about the surface of it. The base traits of any sign, and that was it. And then we learned that each sign has 3 modes, general mode. And then you're also shaped by your environment, but that's just a little far, just a little bit on environment, just how you handle what's going on when you get into a certain situation. Environment doesn't change who and what your makeup is zodiac wise or anything. That's really all that is. And we're not believers in the zodiac, because honestly, to us, belief is pretty much dumb anyway. It is. it's a knowledge. It's something we've observed. We have talked to people that hate even anything dealing with the zodiac of any area. And we're like, but this person acts just like this. Especially when they start talking about something and get upset about it and how they handle it and what they think about it. We're like, ooh, this person matched one of these two. And then we narrow it down real quick when they get really fired up. So and we don't sit here and study the zodiac. No, don't even get that idea. We're not going to sit there, oh, you must be this. No, we only have experience with those that we have met. And when you meet people that can live in Nevada and people that can live in California and people that live in New York and the people that live in North Carolina, and they happen to all have the same equivalent traits, that's something. And when you can meet someone, look, black guy in North Carolina that I knew, white guy in Texas, and then a Cuban, all right? 3 areas, distinct areas, and they all got the same base outlook on life and grew up differently. That's not a coincidence. That's no longer a coincidence. And I can't say 3 out of 3 billion people. I can't say 6 out of 6 billion or 7 billion. But I'm going to say this, the evidence so far weighs in our favor. So that's what you do when you look for evidence. Test it, go forth, see how it is. So do you have anything else to say, girlie?
Nope.
All right, so we're going to get out of here because this is almost long. So this is Sedrik Kennedy and the graduated Sidra Owens for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.